Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to the Minecraft Trains project. We are working on this junction. We are working on this loop. Okay, let's continue building the loop. If I remember right, I have to do the circuitry underpass underneath here. Let me come down here. And then do the other side of the junction. Hey Hava. Ah crap, I just broke this. Wait, no I didn't. Okay. Oh man, spastic. I've been playing... Well, I'm done playing. I'm done playing Psychonauts 2. That's been released recently. Good game. But I think it's messed up my my buttons habits. I'm just mashing all the wrong buttons in Minecraft. Alright, so those. And then on this side, how do we do this? This is gonna be awkward if I leave that open, because you're gonna get trapped in there. It's gonna be a hole and you're gonna get trapped in here, right? Oh, right, that's interesting. I stopped the thing there, okay. If I stopped it there... Well, no, it shouldn't be... Let me, like, do this. Go back to the old materials. Up to that point. Like that. Maybe not that one. And then we do this. And then we back to the bricks. Which does that, and then the brick would do that, and then the slab there. And then we need to like make sure we don't get stuck in a hole. Right. And then we do this. This is a bit awkward there. Alright, maybe we don't do this as glass. It's got a tiny little bit of glass. That's a bit strange. Oh, that's right. This is not supposed to be brick. This is supposed to be the andesite. Ah, there you go. Okay, not bad. The underside though. Should this be glass? This should be glass too. And this. Okay. Psychonauts 2 is really good. I mean, it's not news if you look at the reviews. How do I do this? I did up to there. Microsoft gave, I mean, what they bought Double Fine, the studio that makes Psychonauts. They bought the whole studio, I believe. Right, they put money into it. And it appears that they just gave them enough time and money to just make a really good game. And it really shows. Like the game is polished, it runs well. Which is a little unusual these days. I mean, like, these days a lot of games are like disastrous on launch and then they need to patch it a few times before it becomes playable for the majority of people. That's not the case with Psychonauts 2. They managed to get a good game out day one. Not perfect, but like the bugs are minor. How is this? Is it a new game? Psychonauts 2. It's a pretty old school sort of 3D platformer. Although it's not. Man, when I say 3D platformer, I kind of have reservations because I'm worried it might be too difficult for people. It's not heavy on the platforming. So the gimmick of Psychonauts 1 was 20 years ago, by the way, so this is 20 years later in terms of game development. Psychonauts, the gimmick is that you can go into other people's minds. So you learn about them and you help them resolve their psychological issues and their like unresolved traumas and all that. Although it's done in a humorous but still fairly respectful manner. It's very interesting. So basically like that's the premise, and the premise allows for a number of very interesting levels where you're inside people's brains and you can see their imaginations and their beliefs and all that, and it's all like turned into a platforming game. It's difficult to explain. Is that what I did? I think that's not what I did, is it? Hold on. Or do I do it differently now? Well, I mean, that's no help because it's in a cave. I believe I didn't actually used to do it like this. I guess it's fine. Man, I'll be happy to not have to do junctions anymore. I'm just thinking like, man, this stuff is really complicated what I'm doing. Is that meant to be there? It is, right? Okay, and this is like double thick for some reason, and that's right. And everything's complicated. I guess that goes there, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure. It's kind of open there. It's a death trap actually. You fall in, you can't get out. Psychonauts 2, it's a bit expensive now. So what happens was, like, a number of years ago, Double Fine did a crowdfunding thing to raise money to make Psychonauts 2. And back then, I believe it was cheaper. The crowdfunding, I think it was like... It wasn't as expensive as the game is now. So I got on a discount basically, but I have to put in money many years ago. At the price that it is now, it's a little expensive. The game time, like even if you 100% the game, which I did, I 100% of the game in about 35 hours of gameplay. So it's actually kind of a lot of money to pay for 35 hours of entertainment. Compared to some other options. Back when I put money into the crowdfunding thing, it was cheaper, I believe. How is this no replayability? Well, it's story driven. Yeah, no, basically no replayability. Unless you want to do the same thing again. Which, I mean, you kind of maybe like in a few years I'll play it through it again. Because it's like, I like the game, I like the story. But basically the second time is the same as the first time. Yeah, like the way Half-Life is. Like there's still... it's just the same thing again. Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, so I would understand if people think it's a bit expensive for a 35-hour once through game. I mean, that's what I would think. But I didn't pay this price for it. I didn't pay the current price for it. I paid a discounted price for it. I believe the retaining should start there. Alright, retain that little bit of dirt on that side. I did do the underside, right? Man, I'm losing track. I didn't do this part here. Okay, this is done. Alright, junction part. What happens? What is happening here? That's happening here. don't think I need to put a border there. And then onto this. I should raise this up to that level there. Huh, the way I built these junctions here are a little strange. What's going on down here? Psychonauts 2 is quite heavily story driven. It's not the kind of thing. It's a story game. It's not a mechanics game, right? It's a great story though. It's a great story. And pretty good gameplay. I mean, it's like I would compare it to Portal 2. Portal 1, Portal 2, similar. I mean, it's not really the same genre, but I feel like in terms of how I feel about it, I mean, Portal doesn't really have replayability either. Although, Portal is significantly cheaper than Psychonauts, even on launch. Even at launch, Portal 2 was nowhere near this expensive. So I have some... Yeah, like what is with the pricing? What happens here? That goes there. And that goes there. Having said that, Portal is kind of subsidized by Steam, right? It's a Valve game. Man, we're back to the topic of financing games again. Like, I wonder if Portal made a profit, even like just within Valve. Did they make a profit, or did they like lose money on... I'm gonna fill this in. Did they lose money on Portal 2 specifically? And the game was just subsidized by Steam. I wonder. The other thing is, it's possible that the Psychonauts 2 is only this expensive now because they're catching the whales, right? They're catching the people who are willing to pay this much for the game. And they'll discount it later on. That's quite possible.